welcome to my channel. Welcome to another week's Whip and Chat. Grab your cuppa. I think mine is tepid. I had to top it up with some hot water. I'd forgotten about it. I thought this week was going to be, or this block was going to be a lot of colour blocking, but then when I look closer, it's not quite so much. But let's see how we go. So it may be a bit of a shorter Whip and Chat depending on how quickly we get through some of this. Alright. So back to work tomorrow. Yay. Not. Anyway. Just trying to get used to back and everything else. I've got a heat pack on today. The joys. Actually, I kind of like the technology. It's one of those heat packs that reacts to air. So you unpack it from the packaging and it starts to heat up, which is all kinds of cool. There's a whole chemical process involved in that, and they say don't do certain things with these things and don't put it onto skin. My physio said that she was quite pleased when she saw that I had stuck it onto a skivvy that I had rather than directly onto my skin like some people might do. So it's like, yay, I read the instructions. It's been a reasonably quiet week though, this last week. Trying to get used to coding and what it does, and all the delightful side effects of that, including weaning Sophie. She's been constantly asking for milk. She's getting a bit more used to it now. So that's a bit of a thing. I mean, look, she's over 2.5, so it's not like it wasn't time or anything else, but it was longer than any of my other kids. So yes, rather unexpected too, because I didn't expect for her to still be feeding this long. Not that she's, you know, getting much, but we still make sure we have the snuggles. I think the snuggles are more important. To the point where, just refilling some, to the point where she'll get up in the morning and come into our room and snuggle and actually go back to sleep, which is what she used to do when she had a feed in the morning. So that's kind of nice that she'll still kind of doze off next to me. And getting her to bed in the evening, she's decided a couple of times, last night we didn't tolerate it, but a couple of times she'll come in and she'll lie in between Marcus and I, but she actually snuggles right up against my back. I'm not quite sure how close she is to him, or if the gap just isn't there, but yeah, she'll snuggle right along my back, so it's kind of cute. But I feel like I've got an electric blanket going at the moment. Actually, I'm sweating. And I've been told that's a codeine side effect, although I haven't had any for the last day and a half. I don't know. I could just as easily be menopausal shit, because, you know, that seems to be a thing too these days. So yeah, trying to get routine back, as you do. I'll finish here and oops, get the lunches organized that kind of thing. Probably be the usual chicken Caesar, because it's pretty healthy, certainly tasty. It goes into a special lunch that doesn't go soggy, so it's cool. When I was doing my Frivolous Friday video, I actually did it early because I've noticed that I've potentially been too tired at the end of the week to sometimes get it done, and I also had an extra long dot to dot. I actually had a 3-page dot to dot, which was really cool, but it was over 1100 dots to connect, and that took, I think, an hour all up. It was ridiculous. It's like, yeah, spending an hour dot to dotting. Now the video won't be an hour, I've sped it up, but yeah, that was a bit of a thing. And then it clogged up my computer with exporting, because my poor little computer brain can't multitask, or at least not to the benefit of being able to process and record at the same time. So I have to wait, get some food, and yeah, figure out what else is going on. I picked up my cunning cross stitch again, which was kind of good. I thought I'd made, actually I have found errors. I'm in the center top letter, and I found that I've counted short, and I'm not going to frog. It's not the kind of thing that I think I'm short by 3 stitches. It's not the kind of thing that is going to be detrimental depending on where I start my banner. I think, so what I'll do is I'll start the banner from the bottom, and it doesn't matter if it runs out at the top, it'll just run short, because they aren't actually, they just kind of go infinity into the top. So that bit's not crucial to the design. But yeah, I only realised I was out properly when what was I doing? I was doing, so I started, I think, on the top left and went all the way down, then I went back to the middle and went across, and then went up and down, and then went across, and realised I was out on that right hand stretch. And yeah, I was like, so it's tricky getting canted cross stitch right. And I don't know, because it's not on Pattern Keeper. Stuart doesn't have a compatible PDF, I don't think, with Pattern Keeper. If I'm wrong, please correct me, because it would be so much easier using Pattern Keeper than paper, which is what I'm currently doing. And rightly or wrongly, I'm not actually marking off. I tend to do each colour section because they're reasonably small without marking off, but and I don't have grids down, so I'm kind of working long distance before I actually see a kind of correlation. So yeah, my fault doing the outlines, I suppose. I could have actually started with the with any of the other letters that are finished, probably the top banner. I could have started with that without the letters and decided not to. But anyway, my chair. My seat. You. No, my seat. My seat. She's poking all my colours down. Okay, okay. Stop. No. She's probably going to conk out soon. Somebody had said, I think on the last time I did the mystery, that my comment was that, oh, maybe it's just a pretty sunset, and I wasn't sure if there was going to be a feature of anything, and a friend has said that they think they know what it is, and yes, there is a little feature. So I tried opening the section where I thought, well, maybe there's going to be a little feature in there, and no. It's almost a solid colour block, and it's like, dang. See, she's going to poach down a C that I need. So yeah, still going to be none the wiser with this block. Oh well, just means I've got to keep plugging along and keep going. But the colours are gorgeous. I love the pinks and oranges and everything. I was going to say, I'm kind of getting used to this multiplacer, but I'm not. I'm actually battling it a little bit, and I'm not entirely sure why. I don't know if it's the blue tack in it, but sometimes the drills don't all release in one go, particularly if I'm putting down in the middle of a section. See the drill actually, oh, it has gone down. The drill sometimes doesn't stick, and it's like, you are level. It's just very odd. This is a 6-placer multi-placer. Now I have found that it doesn't have a seal to fill the gap, so when I put this into multiple of my resin pens, it was sloppy and loose, and the recommendation is that you put some tape in or you glue it. They say if you glue to be careful, because you know, gluing is permanent, and if you put tape in, don't overdo the tape, because the force of going into your resin pen could crack your pen. So yeah, I was a little bit kind of nervous chalking it up, but I ended up, oh goodness, made a mess of that, and now I have stringy blue tack. Have ended up hot gluing this end in. I think this is in with tape. Sorry, this is in with tape and this is hot glued. Because I figure the single placer is going to be in permanently anyway. The multi-placer maybe not, so that might get moved from pen to pen. And I have seen BFF have released a steel tip multi-placer. I think it's only a 3 and 1. They haven't got the 6 yet, but they also have 2 hollow rings, and then you've got a rubber ring that will give the seal that it's missing. So I think ultimately that's a better idea, having that little seal, because it just means that it's got a more snug fit without, you know, being glued in and becoming then a permanent resident in that particular pen. Sorry, Sophie knocked the keyboard, which meant that it stopped. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. I like that it's not wearing down. I feel if I had been using the plastic tip, it would have already worn down by now. Oh, you can go there. This is a pen from Patriotic Beauty. So this is one of the shapes that she does. She is going to be getting back in doing her pen making soon. And you'll be able to order this. She shows the blanks on site and then she auctions the pens, kind of, well, not auctions, but she kind of takes, you know, first come first served on the blanks that she's got in. And then of course you've got the choice with the Illuminati aluminium pen that she does too. I'll show you that in just a second. But I think that video went up yesterday. This is the aluminium pen that she does. May or may not have that exact same finish. But yeah, really, really nice, weighty, solid pen, that one. I think I'm making life hard for myself on this. So yeah, other than... Oh, Mocha is post-surgery. He's now on to proper dog food. I didn't actually bring him back to the vet for a vet check. I could have, but he seemed to be fine. There wasn't any issues. He's eating his food really well. He's had the dog food rolls. I don't know if you've got them in the States. They're basically dog food in a kind of large sausage. And you just cut it up and, oh, well, I've been cutting it up and giving it to him in chunks. He's now on some expensive Hills diet that's monstrous chunks. Like, they're, you know, they're big. And he's eating those, apparently because they're bigger chunks and I think they've got a bit of softness to them. They get into the teeth and they clean the teeth. It's actually called, I think, a dental mix or a dental whatever. Yeah, especially for the teeth. And then I've got these dental chews, some green kind of, I don't know, they're not rawhide, but it's a tougher substance, I suppose, for them to chew on, and it, yeah, again, gets up into the teeth. So I have to give him one of those. I might give him one of those tomorrow when I'm at work. Depending on what the weather is. He normally eats outside, like, will take bones and chewy things outside, oops, for the day, and if it's raining, I don't want him out in the rain. No. I think I've got it right. Not thinking there, and put down where I wasn't thinking I was going to. There we go. Not sure what else is going on. I did enjoy reading up on the horse facts. You're going to get horse facts on Friday. It's been years since I've ridden. I don't think I could ride again in a month of Sundays, but you know, we can dream of younger bodies. I have a friend who owns a couple of horses and she still gets riding lessons. I think she's into dressage and stuff, but it still baffles me that people who've been riding for years still get riding lessons. And her horse is all kinds of neurotic and weird. He had problems with jumping and things. Missed one. So she's having to start him off on all those kind of things, and yeah, getting used to it. So I think recently, in the last 6 months, she was actually jumping half barrels. So yeah, it's a bit of an achievement for him. Oh, or, yeah. I think, yes. I'm going from the least to most, I hope. With this, there is no order that you need to go in. I think yesterday I went in numerical order up and down the storage box and just picked the next color according to whatever was on the closest edge to me. So I think, oh, I don't know, might have been that section over, hang on, ooh, this section here, grass stems. So yeah. Oh, go Sophie. Overtired now, I reckon. I think I'm currently feeling a bit censored, not quite sure why, but anyway, it is what it is. It is September next week. What are we? 23rd. Yeah. Yike. I don't know where this year has gone. It's insane. And I know I'm still not used to writing 2020, let alone starting to write 2021. And it's been an insane year, hasn't it? With shutdowns and everything else. I still don't know if I'm going to get to the mainland in October. Cases in Victoria are now starting to go down to a sustainable, well, not a sustainable level, we don't want it sustainable. They were certainly dropping from 400 cases a day down to about 200 in the recent days. So the border is currently shut between New South Wales and Victoria, and there doesn't seem to be any exception for Tasmanians travelling off the boat through to New South Wales, which is a pain in the backside because we could safely transit through Victoria without touching any Victorian, but there's no provision for it, so I don't know. We could fly directly into New South Wales, but that is extortionately expensive, I think. And then my son did say we could just get the train at the other end, but with bad backs and children's luggage and everything else, you're talking a huge amount of logistics to move, so that's not ideal. And hiring a car again is ridiculously expensive when it's kind of like, well, we've got a perfectly good car just sitting here. That's what it feels like anyway. So yeah, haven't made the decision to pull the plug, but yeah, don't know what's going to happen yet. Hubby says the decision's made, we just haven't done it. We just haven't said no. So it'd be the second wedding. Second kid's wedding I miss. Just shit. If I was to go up on my own, I would need to quarantine on my own for 2 weeks. If I was to bring Sophie, that would mean Marcus wouldn't see her for 2 weeks, and you know, vice versa. So either scenario is shitty, and I don't know. And it's not just that's the issue. The issue then is family dynamics up there and everything else. It's like, yeah. Don't want to think about it. I'm coming to the end of one of my Cora Seaton books. This is the one with Emerson and Y. And the last chapter, when the characters were all getting letters from the dead mother, I just bawled. So yes, that's where my head's at probably now as well. I hate mental health. Lack of it or whatever. So yeah, with the September kind of approaching, it's kind of getting now to the pointy end of thinking about the premieres and logistics involved with that. Haven't put a call out for that or anything else. I know there was a lot of interest last year. I know a lot of people expressed that it really helped them last year. Last year we didn't have a pandemic locking people down. This year it's probably even more vital for some people that the connections are there. Yeah, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Feedback would be appreciated on that one. Yeah, how do you get into the Christmas spirit when you just don't seem to be with it yourself? I guess this is why we have things like these hobbies. Try and keep us distracted. Although this morning when I was doing the dot to dot, it was not distracting me whatsoever from some of the thinking that was going through my head. I need a different brain. I think that might be the solution. Your turn. I missed one. As always happens. Ooh, I've got a round in with the squares. From Evermoment. Go figure. Interesting. Evermoment don't do rounds. Now, I'm not going to think of this, but you can look up the make and model of the car yourselves. We have a Datsun 120Y, which is an old car, 1970s car. It's a tiny sedan from an American point of view. We had some guy rock up to the door, completely cold called, and said, "Hey, would you be interested in selling a car?" We live in a cul-de-sac, and I don't understand if this guy was up visiting a friend or just cruising streets looking for cars in driveways that he could kind of go, "Oh, I like that. I'll go and ask them if it's for sale." Do people do that? Very, very weird. But at least he had the, I suppose, neck to ask, because if you don't ask, you never find out. Unfortunately, it's not in our control to sell. So yeah, hubby took the info and passed it on. I know I'm gonna miss a 3. I'm gonna have to scour this like I don't know what, because they're almost identical in colour in the background to the @ symbol that's right next to it. Ooh, where am I going? I misjudged my gap, I think. There we go. Oh, there's a heap more 3s that I'm suddenly seeing now as well. They're all up in this section. I've tried to keep you within frame. Hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing. I've got to get my cameras rebalanced. The focal length seems to be slightly off. It's not as clear as I would like it. But when it's on autofocus, it hunts and it drives me scatty. So it'll probably drive you scatty as a viewer if you're actually watching something. But having the autofocus on means that it focuses at different levels, whereas now I've just got it fixed focus on 2 different levels, but this level, I don't know, doesn't seem quite right. But that would mean calling tech support. That's not working at the moment. Oh, there's a round bit in this. Oh, where did you go? A drill went flying there. I'm gonna go upright. Oh, and I've got one too many. I've noticed the latest flavour of the month seems to be Treasure Studios art. You're going to see a lot of ambassadors for it coming up on YouTube. In fact, there's not going to be many of us that aren't. I'm not an ambassador. But yeah, you're going to see a lot from your creators, or hear a lot about them, so it'll be interesting to see where that's going to go. And I see a lot of what was it, GK Formal. They're getting their name out there a lot. I think they've approached quite a few creators as well. There was one company that Kiss My Crafts let us know about for creators. If you've got a certain amount of subscribers, you can put your name into, not an affiliate program, but a kind of promotion kind of thing. And they would consider whether or not they give you their products. So you might see a few more YouTubers, you know, promoting the same company. Promoting, showcasing, whatever. 961, I think we're going to need some more of those. I will leave it closed just for now. Because, well, there's a lot in it there. Actually, no, I won't. I'll open it, because what this will do, opening it, you'll see. Alright. When I do this, because there's so many in the rows, I'm going to tend to get way more properly aligned flat than I would have if I only had a few. Which means I can multi-place a lot more easily. And then I just grab the chunks that I need for each section, and yeah, you just tend to just fly along. Which makes multi-placing a pleasure, like it really does. You just need to basically count the holes. Ooh, come on. And if there's a gap, come on, get off. Okay, I'll go for 2. Being stubborn. You kind of work out your gap, and sometimes they go in and sometimes they do this and play silly buggers. Oh, and I missed a 3. 3. See, told you, same colours. Yeah. And I didn't rescan. I'll probably find another one. I'm not seeing one right now, but yeah, I'd be lucky if I didn't have another one come up. Ooh. Have still found I'm much happier with blue tack than with a wax in my pen, even though I do get some stringing sometimes, or I just have to pop it back in and do a bit of a tuck as it spreads out. Now you can checkerboard multi-placers. You probably have seen it. You've probably seen it on something that I've even shown you, how you checkerboard the whole length. I'll show you in just a second. Alright, so on this bit I'll checkerboard and you can see, because then you get the nice click happening. And then there, and if you're doing great big sections, the second part of a checkerboard just fills so quickly, it's ridiculous. Oh, my back is not having fun today. I'll be kind of glad to, I've got this to finish, then I've got one more video to record, and I think what I'll do is I'll record it before I process this video, so that it's just a case then of processing that, and I'll get away from the computer then, because I don't think this chair is doing me any favours. Alright, I'm actually going to fill in the checkerboard already. Because there's no rhyme or you don't have to fill the whole section. I mean, how you place drills is up to you. But yeah, you don't have to fill all the sections with your checkerboard and then go back and fill in the checkerboard. You could do a couple of rows and then go back in and fill those rows, and maybe that gives you more of a feeling of accomplishment when you've done it, in that you see that you're filling that much quicker, rather than kind of going, oh, I've checkerboarded the whole lot and now I've got to go back. And yeah, it's the same amount of drills, it's just, it's a psychological thing, I suppose, more visual. Depends how your brain works. And in a way it's a little bit like short rewards, as opposed to you know, putting the work in and not really seeing the reward initially. Which is why it's recommended new people don't do huge paintings, because they take that extra long time to get there. And there's that air of discouragement when you've got 70 hours to put into a piece of art, and they don't realise how much work is involved, and 70 hours is probably, for somebody with a bit of speed up behind them, I mean, you never know how fast you are anyway. What I did in the beginning was set a timer for one of these kind of sections, so that I had an idea how I worked, how fast I worked. So I was able to then say, okay, this section size here is going to take me an hour and a half, depending on what's in it. So if it's full of confetti, it'll take you longer. That kind of thing I don't think is something that you take into account when you're new. One of my bugbears that I'm seeing at the moment is on one of the Australian pages. We're starting to see more diamond paintings coming into our kind of dollar stores. Not that Australia is a big dollar store kind of place, but the cheap stores that do the discounty kind of things are starting to get diamond paintings in. And they're anything from say a 30 by 30 for $10, 10 Australian dollars. They are poured glue. Stuck. They are poured glue, but they the picture detail just isn't there, and people are kind of thinking that these are a bargain because they're in their local store, and it's like, oh, please don't get taken in by this kind of high street crap. It's like selling AliExpress for, you know, ridiculous amounts of money, or you know how when you buy off AliExpress and you get an undersized painting, it's that kind of thing, but you're buying it from a store that has a markup as well, and it's just like, oh, please don't get suckered in. But they get all excited. It's like, oh man, no. I mean, it's what I started off with. I had a friend in the state kept posting her diamond paintings. I'm kind of thinking that looks, you know, really dotty, pixelated. Wasn't into that kind of thing, and kind of poo-pooed it off and went, nah, not for me. But then I think she did a couple of pieces that were actually quite good and not so pixelated, and it was like, oh, okay. And then she said, oh, they're in the dollar store, and I went and bought some from the dollar store that were, I don't know, they were $7 each, I think, at the time, and I did them, and the pictures were horrific. One was of 3 white horses, 4 white horses galloping in the water kind of thing, and I was looking at it going, what's the blob? And it was one of the horses with the head down, whereas the rest of them had their heads up and the manes flying and stuff. And it was just like, oh my god, I can't actually make out what it is. And it was only when I looked at the picture, then looked back at it, that I realised it was the horse's head that was down. The detail just wasn't there. And it was 30 by 30 with overall size, which meant that the canvas print area in round was 27, I think, by 27, if that. And in round, because the drills are that much bigger, you just don't get the definition that you do with squares. And it was, yeah, it was terrible. And I understood it was terrible, but I bought these and then went on to AliExpress. Holy cow, that was a Alice in Wonderland moment. Went on there, joined groups, heard about Huacan, but had placed some orders with Huacan before Drillmageddon was being publicised and known about, and it was like, oh crap. And had 6 weeks waiting for my first diamond paintings. They were the worst 6 weeks ever. It was like so impatient. I didn't really do online shopping before then. God, look at me now. I think I do most of my shopping online. It's crazy. But the yeah, the canvas difference from what you can buy in store, and I wasn't going to buy diamond dots. Diamond dots are only sold by our local haberdashery store, and they start at like $70. They're partials in the most case, and it was just like, I'm not paying those prices for. I just found them a bit, I don't know, cutesy. Not really the kind of images that I wanted. I didn't actually like any of the images initially, and then I don't know, got used to seeing what was out there, got used to seeing how it actually looked as a diamond painting, got used to what looked well, and kind of went big or went home in a lot of cases, which I then found, it's like, oh god, it's taking, and I started it when I was on maternity leave, so I actually had time to do it. I think I misjudged then how long it takes to do one. and yeah, have the stash. Usually tried buying pictures that meant something to me, rather than just anythings. So, you know, I wasn't going to be making them necessarily and putting them into the closet or anything like that. Initially, didn't really like what Diamond Art Club had on offer, and then they started coming out with some amazing artwork. I think that's when I started seeing the Graham Gherkin kind of stuff, and there was the Australiana, and I'm not into the princess theme, you know, with Mandy's themes, wasn't really into those, and they were still kind of big. There's a couple of Claudia McKinney, sorry, her work that I got that I liked the more I saw it, or saw it finished, more to the point. I think that also helps for you to see the artwork finished. We have some people out there who are able to get these done in about a week. I don't know what you're doing with your lives that you have so much time available. It's like, wow. But it's really nice to see some of them finished. And that certainly helps to sell. And then I think I started watching unboxings, and you get the contagious kind of interest, or you get to see it in more detail than you would on a picture on a website, and you kind of go, oh yeah, you know, that really does interest me. You've probably seen it from my videos, you know, when I'm describing where the ABs go, or you know, where whatever is, you're kind of going, oh, that really does make me want to get it, more so than just seeing a flat image, if that makes sense. I mean, it's the same with clothing. You see something on somebody and you go, oh yeah, can I, you know, where did you get that from? Because then you can visualize what it looks like, as opposed to just seeing it hung on a rack, on a hanger. You know, that kind of thing. It's why we try on clothes, because it looks crap on a hanger, and in my case still looks crap on me, but you know, at least it rules out certain items. I hate clothes shopping. Absolutely hate it with a vengeance. The lighting and everything, and having to focus on me and shapes, and cuts do not seem to be the right cut for a shape, and yeah, I feel like a clown, or I feel like an idiot going and buying stuff. Yeah, not my thing at all. Oops. Upside down's not going to work. And then I go and do that, and that flips all my nicely lying drills. I want to try and get those upside down ones in the middle of the rows out of the way, because they stuff up you picking up as well. Okay, we're down to 5s. Now 4. No, there's one more 5. Tell you what, doing this is probably good for kids counting, because I feel like I'm doing the whole abacus thing, in that I'm sliding and grabbing 4 to put into the gaps. The 10-year-old turned 11, and I don't think she's used a multi-placer when she's doing this. I think she just sticks to single placing when she's doing diamond painting. Not that she's done much lately, but I don't think she's got a single or a multi-placer on the end of her pen. And I'm not sure how much confetti is in the thing that she's doing either. I think at the moment she's got an owl, possibly from Mian, who's very, very cute. And then Sophie went and upended drills, and she had to sort them out. And then I think she got some discouragement from her big sister and didn't pick it up again. So yeah, I think she thinks of it as more work than time out. And Sophie will sit here and she'll actually have an argument with these two. Let me just, sorry, she plays with my pens all the time. Right, and she gets these two, and she was calling him a dog. She was actually saying cookie, and she was going rawr at the cactus, and she's playing with these two things next to me. You'll actually hear her in the Frivolous Friday Horse Facts video, because she was sitting next to me doing this. Oh my god. How can you get grumpy with that kind of carry on next to you? It's kind of like, go away, I'm recording. Yeah, but it's cute. We think she actually said her name during the week. Normally it's, ooh, it's me. But she actually said something along the lines of Sophie, and I was like, did we hear what we thought we heard? And she hasn't repeated it since. It's not like we don't say her name often enough. It's just that she hasn't herself volunteered it. Yeah, very weird. Alright, I am on the home stretch. Yeah, I think there was probably 15 minutes on the previous back. Ow. I'm talking to my GP again on Tuesday, don't worry. He's kind of going, we can give you antidepressants which are treated for back pain. I'm kind of thinking, an antidepressant has the same thing in it. It doesn't go, ooh, I'm treating back pain. I won't do the chemical crap up in the brain this time around. So I'm reluctant to go on those. Cymbalta for anyone who has a clue. Yeah. Which means that I might have to take the codeine for longer. It's like, oh god. Anyway, I just wish the pain would stop, would get less, and just stop. But I feel like I'm pushing shit uphill. It's ridiculous. So yeah, the plan is get a day's work under my belt, speak to him the next morning at work, and I don't know, see if we've got a plan moving forward. The problem was this morning, I think I woke up at about 4 o'clock this morning, and I started having one of those kind of waking dreams, and it was me dreaming of work and people sitting at my desk and fucking around with stuff. They'd moved stuff on me, and then somebody else tried to interfere with my workspace when I was trying to do stuff, and that just annoyed me. But yeah, waking up just, and then I couldn't stop thinking of work then. It was just not nice. It's like, I'm not at work today, I just want to chill. No. I was hoping not to get that little bit of crap in there. Now I've got a blob of blue tack on one of these. What? I think it went in. Alright. Okay, I'll give you a look at this. That goes there. That goes there. These get rolled. Listen. Ah, love that noise. I mean, it's not good that you didn't push them all home in the first place, but look, doing this, no popping, no nothing, every moment drills are just the business. Look how boring that square is. Now, hang on just a second. That's why. There we go. You ready? Okay, that's the bottom of it. I've got 3 rolls of toilet paper, just keeping it compressed up the top. Oh, they're getting caught on the duct tape, because the duct tape does not stick to these covers well at all. It's like sticking sticky stuff onto greaseproof paper, and it just doesn't work. So from the bottom up, so you know, it's grass, and whether or not there's a dragonfly or something, I don't know, because look, this is going to be the bottom of that grass, and this is going to be more grass, and this is probably going to be the seed heads, so this is going to be just more sunset, this is going to be a sunset, this is going to be more seed heads. There might be something here. What else have we got? And then here, look, we've got more seed heads, we've got more seed heads. Dunno. Alright, either way, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it that it's every moment, which is a pleasure to do. If this was Huacant, oh, far out, it would have been a popping nightmare. And not fun at all. Alright, so these, I'm putting them back on just for ease of whatever. No particular reason. That gets put into packing tube from Every Moment. They're brilliant. Reuse them. Really, really good. But I'll let you go for this week. Sorry if it was a little bit in my head for that, but it is what it is. Sometimes we're not always chatty or chatty Cathy's. And look at my nails. I got them done. I actually said to the girls, Green and Mel picked out the jade, and then they did some glitter and some stripies, and yeah, kind of subtle this time around. But I was so unhappy. In the last 3 weeks I had cracked that one. This one came off completely and I had to use super glue. The rest were cracked and kept on flexing. Oh, it was dry. Bad nails are a girl's worst nightmare, to be honest. When you're used to having your nails like good and firm and everything else, when you've got a cracked nail you're nursing, and when you have too many cracked nails, it was far too much nursing going on. Lots of stupid repairs and everything else. Joys. Alright, look, I will see you next week. The schedule is full. I think it's a Monday through to Saturday releases. So it's a full week. You get a video a day. Some are longer than others. You know, take your pick. With whatever you would like to jump in on. And I will see you around on the tubes. Alright, bye for now. Look after yourselves. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.